Yo, today I'm gonna be making a video on how to deal or how to process different emotions and the mental aspects of running a business or just trying to do anything cool in your life, trying to be successful. There's gonna be a lot of mental obstacles that you have to overcome. And at least I have found a really good process to overcome it, or to like, damn, I fucking moved my camera, to process these things. And it works extremely well. So we're gonna be talking about that, and I'm gonna be moving my camera a little bit, so maybe it's better. I don't know. Also, just to let you know, there's no script or nothing for this video. I came up with the idea like 3 minutes ago and I just sat down and started recording. I know that I would be getting 10 times more views and subscribers and likes if I scripted these videos and had fancy editing and cool thumbnails, but I truly can't be asked to do that right now because I have actual businesses and deals to run and make. So I just want to be here authentically as my authentic self to provide you valuable thoughts from my head. And even if 10 times less people see it, I hope that the people who see it enjoy it. You know, also one person who I really, really admire, who does absolutely fantastic videos on YouTube is Jack Hayward. YouTube, Jack Hayward. Jack is his authentic self on these videos, and I love his videos. Like, I never fucking watch YouTube videos. I have like my whole YouTube blocked. Like, I have no recommendations or nothing, but I watch Jack's videos because they are so fucking entertaining, and there's so much sauce. And as you can see, like, there's no one watches this shit, but these are like crazy good videos. So I recommend you to go watch that shit if you're interested in anything cold email related or nothing or anything like that. But yeah, so today we're going to be talking about on this video, we're going to be talking about like mindset related things. And I know it's like there's like an abundance of content when it comes to mindset and this stuff. And it's like most of the stuff is like pretty useless because it's just yapping. And a lot of business owners think, oh, I don't need any more mindset content. I don't want to hear about this mindset stuff. I just need the best pros. I just need to find the best cold email script. But it's no, like, at least from myself, or like from my own experience, like mindset is like the most important thing about business. You know, it's like the reason why you are not doing the numbers that you want to do, or doing the things that you want to be doing. It's like because you have limiting beliefs and your mindset isn't right. Because like one of my mentors, Alan Soltanik, he always says this really great thing. It's like in this world, like no one really can be twice as smart as you if you have like average IQ. Of course, if your IQ is super low, like yeah, it's possible, but like, if your IQ is like normal, like no one really has 200 IQ. It's like no one can really be twice as smart as you, but there are people like Elon Musk who are like billion times more successful than you. There's like fucking unfathomable how much better at everything they are. You know, they're just like, it's crazy how much more successful they are. So it's like, why does that happen? Like they are not twice as smart as you. All these successful people, they have the same amount of time in the day. And you have like a lot of them like are completely self-made. So it's like they had the same resources starting out than you had. It's like, why are they so much better? And the only logical explanation is like how they view the world and how their brain works, or like how they think about things, like what kind of beliefs they have about the world. It's like, that's the only thing that really can set them apart. Like, yeah, they can work super hard, but they can't work 10 times harder than you. Like they literally just like can't put in 10 times more hours. Or like they can if you're super lazy, but like if you're actually grinding, like they can't be they don't have double your IQ. They can't have like fucking 100 extra years doing anything. They don't have better starting situations than you have. They can't be working 10 times more than you. So like, how are they just fucking 10,000 million billion times better than you, or like more successful? It's like because they see the world differently. So really the big limiting factor, or the thing why you are not as successful as you want to be or could be, is because how your brain works and how you operate and how you think about things and how you approach things and your worldviews in general. So it's like a thing that I focus on a lot. And the longer I do this and the more quote unquote successful I get, the more I spend time thinking about this, because I think it's like extremely important. So a great example of this is like, I was actually talking about this today with our mastermind. I joined, we have this mindset call every single Wednesday that we do, because mindset is super important. We have like our mindset coach, Johannes, super sick dude, does like marketing campaigns for Dr. Cialdini, which is obviously massive, like really great marketer. Cialdini is obviously massive company. And he has been in the mindset space for like over 22 years. super smart dude, amazing stuff about mindset. So I like to join his calls when I have the time and listen to them talk. And today we were talking there about with other members about like call reluctancy or like sales calls. You know, it's like sales calls. Boom. So you have a sales call, and what happens a lot of times is like, you know, you have to go to the sales call. You know, it's like you go to the sales call like this. What a pointless drawing, and it causes negative emotions in your head. And these negative emotions can be like a lot of things. It can be like stress, anxiety, insecurity, imposter syndrome, but like overall just like a negative emotion comes in your head. And instead of you being happy about the sales call, because like if you're a business owner, you should be fucking happy that you have a sales call. It's like you're sad, like like this, or maybe you're angry. Okay, that doesn't really look angry, but like you're fucking anxious, even though it's like you need, like you work super hard to get these sales calls. Then when you have to go to the sales call, like nervous and stressed and anxious and shit like this. It's like we were talking about why this happens, and like the reason why it's like really important to understand why it happens is because otherwise you can start like sabotaging yourself, like subconsciously, like you might assign like a negative identity to yourself. So there's this thing called the self-identity theory. Pretty much your subconscious mind. So if you think about your subconscious mind, this is your subconscious mind. It pretty much looks at everything that is happening in the world, like what kind of people you hang out with. You know, it's like your environment. It looks at your actions. It looks at your results. It looks at all the other things happening in your life. And based on these things, it assigns an identity for yourself. And this self-identity that your subconscious mind assigns to yourself is like dictates a lot of how well you do in life. You know, it's like it dictates your beliefs, it dictates your limiting beliefs, it dictates your like how big you think, dictates your habits, actions, how you feel. It's like has like a massive impact on how well you actually succeed in life. And that's, for example, like why I am such a big fan of masterminds, because you can place yourself into a group of absolute fucking killers, like people who are like best in their industry and like who have like really positive, really hardworking mindset. And then automatically just by being in this group, even if you do fucking nothing, like this is a thing that your subconscious mind notices, and it starts seeping into your self-identity, and your self-identity starts changing. So automatically, without making any drastic changes, you're going to start thinking in different ways, thinking bigger. It's going to start removing your limiting beliefs. You're going to start taking better actions, etc. So it's like a life hack. But to get to the original point, like the reason why this happened or why this is important is your subconscious mind identifies that you're feeling anxiety and stress before a sales call. So in the worst case scenario, your subconscious mind like assigns the self-identity of like you are bad at sales, or you are nervous when you do sales calls. You're not a natural salesperson. You're a bitch, you know, you're scared, afraid, little dork cock, you know, sometimes it can happen. And that of course will like once again really negatively affect how you perform in life if that seeps into your self-identity. So what I try to do a lot and what I try to pay attention to a lot is processing these negative emotions. Because like it's a fact, like everyone here, most likely, it's like I would consider myself an extremely positive person. Every single day I have a good day. I never have bad days. My life is absolutely perfect, and I'm living my dream life. And it has been like this since I was completely broke and poor and unsuccessful. It's like I was still extremely positive every single day. Of course, not every single day, but most days I was extremely positive. But still, every single person has negative emotions. You know, it's like part of life. So in my opinion, it's really important to be able to process these negative emotions, because otherwise, if you don't understand why these negative emotions happen, it's like these things can seep into your self-identity, and they can change your chances of success, because once again, like your self-identity like goes down, like it's worse. So for example, if we take this example here, it's like sales calls. Like why would someone who has a lot of sales experience, the guy who was talking about it has like a lot of sales experience, an absolute fucking stud, really, really well-speaking, fucking charismatic dude, like a sales killer. But like he was saying, like, yeah, I have some call reluctancy. Now going back to the calls, haven't been doing sales calls that much. Like, why does it feel fucking hard for me to go to sales calls? And it's like I could really well resonate with that, because I had the same exact scenario. Like I have done sales like almost 9 years in my life. That's pretty crazy. It's like started really young. like built multiple big sales team, broken bunch of records, set new industry standards, done fucking thousands of sales calls, knocked on tens and tens and tens of thousands of doors, talked to hundreds of thousands of prospects in different sales channels, fucking like done so much sales. Like I have been living and breathing sales, for sure, like my number one thing that I've been doing. And this week, or like last week actually, like last week Friday evening, we came up with a new offer to a new vertical, with a new angle, with a new positioning, to a little bit of a new ICP that we have never worked with, you know, like everything was new, you know? So it's like, there was like new positioning was new, positio, there's like new ICP a little bit, like I haven't talked to this ICP for years, like new angle, new pricing, new price, new offer, like a lot of new elements. And we came up with this offer, and it's like, okay, let's fucking rip this. This is gonna like absolutely print. And we launched the campaigns like Saturday evening, Sunday morning. And we start booking calls immediately, of course, like banger campaigns, banger offer. And we book like 4, 5, 6 calls like the first Sunday that we run it, like on a Sunday actually, like that's, you should be sending cold emails out on a weekend. And we book like a bunch of these calls. And then this week, of course, like a few days later, like I'm gonna start taking these calls. Like I'm gonna go to these calls with a lot of these new elements. And I noticed for myself, even though I have been doing this for 9 years, and I would like say that this is my number one strong suit, like sales, like I had a bit of call reluctance. I didn't feel 100% confident into going to these calls. I was a little bit nervous. I was a little bit anxious, just a little bit, but still, it's like really weird. I can't remember the last time that happened. I was like, what the fuck? Why is that happening? So I could like relate really well to what the guy in the mastermind call was saying. And for this, there's obviously a reason. It's like, this just doesn't happen normally. So for example, in this scenario, it's like, because this is a completely new thing, like there's a lot of new, you know, your brain hasn't experienced this this thing before. Like I have never sold with this positioning, this new ICP, with this angle, with this price, with this offers. Like I have never done this. So like this is all new, like fucking completely new. So my brain has like zero data on like how these calls are gonna go. How are these people gonna answer my questions? How are they gonna be? What is gonna be happening? Like there's no data. It's like, what's gonna happen? So like the brain can't predict what's going to happen. Like if you take like, let's say the 100 sales calls for the same offer, it's like really quickly in those 100 sales calls, you like start building this routine in your head, this pattern, you know, okay, most likely they're going to say this, they're going to say this, they're going to react like this, they're going to be like this, I'm going to say this, like it's really predictable, it's routine. But then when you start doing something new, it's like outside of routine, boom, like you can't predict it. You don't know what's going to happen. And when that happens, like when you do something outside of routine, it's like in our brain, I can't remember the exact part of the brain, but pretty much it's called the fear center in our brain activates, and it starts dropping all these kind of chemicals into our brain, and it creates anxiety and stress. Because if you go back to the Stone Age, when we were living in fucking caves and like hunting tigers, it's like you really didn't want to go outside the routine. It's like you had to be inside routine. Like if something new came up, like it probably meant that you're gonna die, you know? Like it's like you couldn't really do much stuff that like there's like you couldn't take a lot of risks. So you were like really risk averse, and every single time when something new came up, it's like usually pretty bad. You'll probably die. So this is still like really engraved. It's really wired in our brains. It's like, okay, when the brain can't predict what's happening, when it is forced to go outside of routine, no matter how much of a stud you are, it is just a neurological pattern in your brain that you're gonna feel anxiety and stress. You know? Like it's just, you literally can't get away from it. It's like, it's hardwired into your fucking like nervous system and into your brain and all of these different parts. You know? So because of it's new, it's like you're gonna feel all of these negative emotions. Like, even though like if you have done like million sales calls in the past. You know, it's like, and of course, if you have done a lot more sales calls, you're gonna feel less negative emotions because you can still overall predict how the call is gonna go. But like if it's, for example, a new offer or you haven't done it for a long time, it's like your brain doesn't remember. Oh, okay, this is probably how it's gonna go. So this is why it's like I like to always go through this process. Like when I have some kind of negative emotion, negative belief, whatever, it's like I try to get to the like root of it and figure out like why is it happening from a psychological perspective, why is it happening from a neurological perspective, why is it happening from like whatever perspective, you know? Like for example, if I identify a limiting belief, let's say like I'm here, boom, 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 and I'm talking to a teammate or whatever, this is me or you or whoever the fuck, and I'm talking to a teammate and it's like they say like, hey, we should sell this offer for $100,000, you know, and I'm like, oh shit, we can't sell it for $100,000, or like there's no way anyone's gonna buy that for $100,000. But that immediately, it's like in my head, it's like, fuck, like why not? Like why not? Why couldn't we sell this for $100,000? Like it's obviously more valuable than 100K. It's like, why can't we sell this for $100,000? So that is a limiting belief. It's a limiting belief, and there's a reason why this limiting belief is there in my brain, you know? Clearly the other person who came up with this idea doesn't have that limiting belief. So why do I have it and why they don't have it? So like the only logical reason is I have gone through some kind of experience, I have some kind of data or some kind of bias in my mind that builds up this limiting belief. Maybe I have some trauma in my brain, or like not brain, but like maybe I have gone through some trauma in the past that has created this limiting belief in my head. And then if I'm able to identify where that comes from, I can figure out that, damn, this is actually not true. And we actually can sell this for $100,000. And I can be certain that it's actually possible, you know? So like pretty much like I know there's a lot of yapping and drawing and fucking bunch of shit like this, but like the main thing that I'm just trying to say is that when you are experiencing negative emotions, like it's really, really good practice to try to figure out like why those negative emotions happen. Like why are you feeling stressed? Why are you feeling anxious? Why are you feeling insecure? Why are you feeling imposter syndrome? Like what is the actual grassroots reasons for this? Why it's happening in your brain? Like why are these parts of your brain activating? Why are these different chemicals being like fucking released into your brain when these things happen? Like there's always a logical reason. Like human bodies and brains and everything is like has been studied so extensively that you can always figure it out. You know, there's always data on why this happens, why you feel a certain way. And then when you know that, okay, like this only happens because of XYZ concept or XYZ part of your brain activating due to like some stone age programming that your brain has gone through fucking 10,000 years ago, it's like you can detach it from your self-identity. Like you can say that, okay, hey, like this doesn't make me a bad sales guy. This doesn't make me a bitch. This doesn't make me this or that because it is just programmed into my brain from like 50,000 years ago. And there's nothing I can do about it. And it's just gonna go away as I do more calls. And this works with everything. It's like fucking shiny object syndrome, whatever fucking negative emotion in your life. It's like, don't let it seep into your self-identity. Like when I look at the people who are like absolutely fucking crushing it, the people who we work with who do millions a month, fucking 100,000 a month, fucking tens of millions a month, like when I meet these people, like their self-identity is always like fucking hardcore, you know? It's like they have a superior self-identity because that self-identity like determines what they believe in and how they approach different situations and what kind of habits they have, etc. So it's like you have to have like superior self-identity in your subconscious mind. And the only way you can do it is by protecting the sources that the self-identity is based on. Don't let any negative feelings or negative experience that you go through affect how you feel about yourself and how you subconsciously identify. Make sure that you hang out with the fucking right people. Make sure that fucking you take the right actions. Make sure that you consume the right content. Like if you go and listen to some struggle rap like 6 hours a day, like, oh, I'm in the hood, trapping, fucking slinging coke, killing a bloke, you know, like if you listen to that shit, like once again, your subconscious mind is going to be programmed by that shit, and your self-identity is going to think that you're some fucking trap star. You are not, and you don't want to be. So be really fucking careful what you program into your brain, and make sure that you don't let any harmful shit seep in by processing the actual emotions and understanding why, like, in the first place this even happened, because then you're gonna, like, detect it. But yeah, that's what everything that I had. Fucking take care, like, subscribe, do whatever you want.